Well, hey there, YouTube. Petey Two Finger here, talking about. No, I try to keep it positive on this channel, but this video I'm just going to complain. Logitech. Okay, they're a monopoly, and I got burned on one of their products. So the best thing that Logitech ever did was their Unifying Dongle. So you see this has a circle sticker on it. Those are they're like for binders. And what this denotes, there's a dongle, a unifying dongle here that shares that sticker. Then we have a set that has a red nail polish applied in the center of that circle, and then I peel it off. So there's a red dot and then the white circle. And these are pairs. I know that anything with the white circle on it pairs to this dongle that you plug into your USB. And what's great about the unifying system, like here you can see there's a little orange, it says K700, and then underneath that the 6-pointed, that means it'll take a unifying dongle. So what happens most times is people are not computer savvy. They will call their nephew and take him to Best Buy. He buys the mouse and the AA batteries, and then they go out for lunch. They come home, the kid installs it, and they never even see that dongle get plugged into the computer. And then 3 months later, the batteries die in the mouse, and the person goes, turns out my nephew didn't really know about computers that much. That thing's junk, doesn't work. Take it, put the computer in the garage with the other stack of computers. I'll go to Best Buy and buy a new computer. And then a year later, the wife is sick of seeing the mouse in the desk drawer, so she takes it to Goodwill for the poor people. So what you'll find is all kinds of Logitech products that have this is an M705, it's a contoured mouse. It's got some weight to it. The action on the scroll wheel is really smooth. It fits really nice in my hand. It's just the right weight. It takes 2 AA batteries, not AAA, so they last a little longer. I love this mouse, and we've got 3 of them here. The problem is when you find this stuff at resale, it almost never has the dongle. And so if I see a dongle, like I just found one. We're up to like 3 or 4 I have now. And whenever I find one, I go into shock. I'm like the kid in Home Alone. I'm like, I can't believe, and whatever it is has the dongle in it. Because you download this software, it's 4 meg, and it doesn't take an hour to download and install or uninstall. It's solid. It does what it's supposed to do. It doesn't do anything additional. It's not spying on me. It's a great piece of software. Basically, it comes on, it says plug your dongle in, and it says, okay, take the device that you wish to pair to the dongle and turn the power on. So you click on, a second will go by, and then all of a sudden it'll come up with a mouse cursor, and you move, okay, it's mousing. So then you go over and click OK, it connected, and then you go close, or I want to pair more devices. So in my case, like I said, we've got a few of them set up, and then there's a few like floaters. Right now there's 2 floaters, and they each have at least 1 keyboard and mouse. Now this one came from a web TV, so there's no function keys, but it has a little, what do you call that, pad here. This is really small, and I had this over in my recording area just because to save space. And then I got a USB keyboard that has the scrub wheels built in on it and a bunch of extra buttons you can assign. So that was like, do I want to use the little tiny one and a separate remote, or just 1 keyboard with the remote built in on it? And I switched over from using my remote to this keyboard, and that was how I recorded my last album. And I really like having those hotkeys. As long as I can get at my record delete and rewind in one keystroke, I'm fine. The quicker I can do that process, the better I can nail my takes. So that's how I do it. Anyway, Logitech is a monopoly. They do make good stuff. It's consumer grade. It's above the normal level of just garbage that we see. And when it comes to webcams, that's what it is. It's all garbage. Webcams are trash. And I had made a decision I was going to become I was going to do YouTube videos. And I bought this C910, which was $130 way back in 2006 or something when I bought this. HD was kind of new, and this was a big deal. I got it used for $60, and it ran rock solid, this camera. I'm a little pink, and there was stuff about the software that bothered me. At first, the software was great. It was 70 megs, LWS 3, 2.30, then 2.51, then 2.8. And the 2.8 became unstable on my Windows 7 systems. It'd be weird, like whatever computer I ran this on, the audio would always be different. Sometimes it would sound like it was pixelized or like cell phone quality, like bad quality. Sometimes it had a high-pitched audio whine in the background. Sometimes it just, like the same computer, but I updated to Windows 10, and now the audio quality went down a little bit. Now, I don't have golden ears, so for me to hear it, it's a thing. So I'm using this external mic, which if I'm going to pay $130 retail for a webcam, the mic needs to work. It needs to sound really good. I'm just saying I don't want to use another one, you know. Now there's a company called OBS that puts out this free software, open broadcast service. That's wonderful stuff, but you still, when you open you go to use your Logitech camera, it opens up the Logitech software. So that software became unstable in my system, and what it does, the camera disappears, and you got to unplug it, plug it in, reboot. If you zoom in, there's a zoom button. If you zoom in while you're recording, it'll completely disconnect and freak out, and you have to uninstall the software and reinstall the software, which takes like an hour. It takes so long to install it. There are so many subfolders and hidden things where it's spying on you, where I have no idea what that's about. But when you go into the advanced settings, on the regular tools, there's something called right sound that it defaults to constantly. And that makes it unbelievably cell phony, underwater. That's what it sounds like. And it's constantly checking this right sound. It's like the C910, like they were like April Fool, like we're gonna do every single thing we can of fuckery. It's like it never ends with this webcam. When you assign an external mic, there's a window. It's supposed to tell you what it is. That's always blacked out. If you touch it, it'll lock up. If you touch, and it's like you click on it and it doesn't do anything, and it's just sitting there. No light beeping on the computer, and then maybe like 3 minutes will go by, and then it'll pop up. But like if you click again, it'll not responding. It'll lock up. You've got to reboot. You got to unplug the camera, which means going around the back, okay? And then I've got to uninstall the software, reinstall the software, and hope that the camera comes back on, okay? So they came out with a new version of the software, and they don't tell you anything. And all of a sudden, it's purple, and it's called Logi. Like, yo, like it's street, it's hip now. And there's no words. It's not like turn on the autofocus or advanced settings. It's like little pictures. A guy with a top hat, a squirrel with a nut. Like, I don't know what it's really dumbed down. They want you to sign in. Nothing works. It's like, okay, I want to crop the screen. Like, you need to pay for that app. Like, this isn't an app. I bought the thing. okay? This is the software that enables it to work in my computer. So now they're phasing out, like, they need to update, like, that 2.8.0 is not working. It didn't work in Windows 7, and it's not working in Con. And now they're yo up in here, Logi. And Logi doesn't have a driver for this camera. In order for you to use the camera through Logi, you have to fire up 2.8.0. Logitech webcam software. You use them both. So the driver and all the functionality and everything is still in 2.8.0, and then it's actually, Logi is not Logi, it's called Capture, is what it's called. And it's like, it's supposed to be their answer to OBS, which is free. And they're like, oh, it's free, but it's crippled. You have to go in, like, if you wanna make it black and white, oh, that's an app, you have to buy that, you know. And like I said, Logitech is a monopoly. They can get away with it. Their stuff is just a little bit better than the average garbage that's out there. The only thing that they did that impressed me was the unifying software. That's brilliant, and it works fantastically. So now, here I am. I bought this $130 thing. It worked fine for years, and now it's 8 o'clock at night. At 5 o'clock, I went to make a video, and it's 8, and I'm still messing around with this, and I've made this video. I made a 20-minute version of it, and I touched the camera. I touched the thing to move in, and it locked up. So I'm doing like my 10th take of this video complaining about Logitech, which I know it's not right for me to get on here. It's the worst thing in the world for me. You guys don't want to hear me complain, but I'm warning you, don't buy a Logitech camera and expect them to, even if it's the expensive one, because it'll only be good for a couple of years, because this company doesn't care. If you want something good, you're probably going to have to get some German thing that's like $10,000. Like, I don't know what the answer is. Is there a decent commercial product? So I would love to know that. Maybe I'll try to I don't have any, like, significant people making YouTube videos watching this channel. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are some great YouTubers. And if there are, please tell me what you're doing. What are you using? So I can get something. There's got to be something for like 60 to 80 bucks that's HD, that the software is stable in Windows 10. That's all I want. I'm not asking for a lot, you know. I need the basic functionality that's in this thing, which, like, when you go into the advanced settings, there's all these tick boxes and tick boxes next to everything, like exposure, gain, brightness, contrast, and saturation, okay? And there's like one tick box here, then there'll be a tick box next to that slider, tick box. And you gotta, like the exposure, I have to uncheck 2 tick boxes to access it. 2. Like, the people that work at Logi they think I'm so dumb that they've got to cripple it and lock down, like, they don't want me getting at that exposure, because if I adjust it, then I'm going to be like getting on there and going to customer support like it's too bright. Like, they really think I'm dumb. And I don't want to have to click 75 clicks, because the stock setting makes me look like a hot dog. I'm pink. My skin is not pink. I'm white. I'm white as a sheet. So that's why my videos are always psychedelic looking or black and white, is because I have to go in there and play with the controls. When you move the color over, the new bug that it does, it'll go to black and white, and then all of a sudden the color will just start creeping in, and it will go max color, even though you've got it all the way over. And once that starts happening, you have to reinstall the software. So it's like, don't touch the color. You just got to look pink, you know? Like I said, everything's tick box after tick box after tick box, because they don't want you getting after it. And I'll tell you, like, again, all of this was flawless, with the exception of the goofy stuff with the audio. It ran rock solid. Every time I ever clicked on my camera was there. Now, every time I make a video, it's like, is my camera going to be there? Or am I going to have to call my wife to go behind the computer? I have a back injury, and it's painful for me to be bending down playing with USB jacks while I'm on the other end rebooting and reinstalling. And there's a thing where it's like, okay, now plug the camera in. And we're doing everything like power cycling it, like when it glitches, you shut it off, unplug it, boot up Windows, exit Windows, let it cool down, then plug the thing in again and then reboot. We're doing stuff like that, which it takes it's like 8 minutes, you know? And if I'm buying a $130 product, I expect it to work flawlessly, okay? Without issue. And I expect you to support it until it's not working anymore. It's a $130 thing. I mean, maybe you spend that to buy a round of drinks for your buddies at work. I don't. That's a considerable amount of money for me, $130. That thing should last for 15 years. It should work flawlessly, and you need to support it, which means if all of a sudden Windows is coming up with all these crazy new operating systems every 6 months because they're trying to usher in the market of beast and the one world currency or whatever they're trying to do, then you need to start updating the software. Forget about Logi, okay? And I'm curious what kind of purple webcam I'm supposed to buy to go with the Logi. What do I get that works with Windows 10 that's got an updated driver? That's not 15-year-old driver, you know? So that's my rant. Fuck Logitech. Fuck you, Logitech. How dare you take me for a fucking ride? Good job on the Unifyer, though. All right, you guys. I hope you can appreciate why I'm upset, and that this has been going on for a year now, and it's taken like so many days of my life of playing around with this webcam and having to reshoot videos because of it locking up. You know, I mean, I know it's easy to be like, wow, this guy's flipping out on camera, and why doesn't he just, well, because I don't have the money. $100 to me is a lot of money, okay? What I can do with that, you know, I can build a couple of pedals or have something that I built that I know will work flawlessly for the rest of my life. So it is a significant investment. Even though you might spend that in one line of cocaine that you do, you know, that's not me. And a company like Logitech, it's so obviously a monopoly, and they're so out of line what they're doing with this Logi, little pictures of a bear, but with spinning a ball. What is that? You can't use text. You can't say advanced settings. You know, you're so worried about the customer getting in there and adjusting stuff that you've got to put it behind 3 switches. I mean, some of us, you know what we're doing. And to be honest with you, you should have a switch on the thing for a technical mode or, you know, simple mode, something like that. And regardless of that, the software layout really isn't that bad. If you got rid of a lot of the unnecessary locking checkboxes and then had it so if I use an external mic, it shows up, it doesn't just black it out. If you had it so you can zoom the camera in and out without it disconnecting itself and shutting the whole system down and having to reinstall the software. And how many other things? The camera just disappearing constantly and you have to reinstall the software. Today I booted up the camera. It worked. I made a video yesterday. We did nothing. I booted it up today, clicked on it. Up, it's gone. Which has been happening for a year. So you can go, oh, ha, 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 it's so funny. Petey's an asshole. He's losing it on camera. You're not supposed to do that on YouTube. You're supposed to just say everything's great. It's social media. It's all rainbows and butterflies. Well, you know what? It isn't. And if there's something like an evil corporation that's taking advantage of people, and I'm getting screwed because of that, I'm going to go on the camera and make a rant. And that's part of who I am and what this channel represents is, having a voice for the little guy to say something, hey, I got screwed, I got fucked on this deal, you know? And don't ever buy anything Logitech new, which that's my thing. I am never buying anything Logitech new. I'll buy it used, but they're not getting a dime of my money. Not after the C910 fiasco. And believe me, I'm going to be updating my webcam. I'm going to take care of it. Probably in September for my birthday, it'll happen. And it's not going to be a Logi, because that's as fake black as it gets. That Logi with a purple. And I know that was a boardroom, a white guy saying, how can we make this more hip? You know? Black man doesn't want to say Logitech. Black man doesn't want to say that. Black man wants to say Logi, yo, yo, yo. Some white guy who's projecting what they think is hip and black into the market. And that's the type of stuff that I see as the real evil racism. That stuff. That's right up there with Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben, if you ask me. Which there was a lot of that in the news. Does anyone remember Tracy Morgan did a sketch on Saturday Night Live years ago where he had it was Uncle Chester's malt liquor, and it was like an Uncle Ben ripoff, and he came out of this cartoon shack and sat down, and he opened up a little pint bottle. All these little bluebirds came and were sitting on his shoulder singing, and he was like, Uncle Chester's malt liquor. He's like, this liquor gets you fucked up. It's funny, but at the same time, it's really sad, because when you go to the hood and you see it's all Newport Alive with Pleasure ads with white people water skiing on them, and then like Four Loko billboards and shit, and then you think about, if you were born in that system, would that be funny to you? And it takes on a different light as soon as you start putting yourself in the other person's shoes. So that whole racism thing, I have no right to talk on it. It's not funny to me that Logitech changed the name to Logi. It angers me. I think of some young white guy in a boardroom who's doing coke all the time, thinking about what's hip, how we got to change it to Logi. And it just absolutely infuriates me, because like taking all the text out of it and making everything pictures, just dumbing it down. Nothing works on it. It's like, yo, dog, that's an app. Just click over here and we'll take it out of your credit card and you'll be able to crop your movie. You want it black and white? Yo, dog, that's another app. No, don't sweat it. We already got your credit card number. You know, just like dry fucking the customer. Just like the... Is this a fucking conspiracy, Logitech? Is it? Is this just like El Grande fuckery, like dry fuck the customer? And while we're at it, let's make fun of the blacks. Logi, make it purple, yeah. I'm never buying anything new from Logitech again. And I've got another video where I want to just talk about balance. So it's racial stuff too, which I have no right to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it today. So if that type of stuff appeals to you, check out that video. It's a story right of the news. So I'm going to make that video, and then I got to get some work done here, guys. Sorry for the rant. Peace.